Oh man, morning. It is our first morning here in Wisconsin. Put a couple birds to bed last night. It's a real funny situation. So it's not the best situation. But we're gonna go in there and we're gonna see what we can't make happen. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, we'll be on to a plan B of some sort. Here's what we got going on. 2 birds are gobbling, but they're a lot deeper in the public than they are in the private than I thought. And I'm pretty certain a truck pulled in not long before gobble time. Into that private piece. So that means I really should go find something else. Alright, so we have not been on much this afternoon, but I did, while driving around, saw a longbeard in a field. Drove around some more, checked out a couple of other places, came back, and in a different part of the field there was 2 longbeards. Stopped and asked permission, and the guy said yes. So I can't hunt the field, but there's the woods that border the field, and that's where all these turkeys have been, is right up along that edge. And there's a couple hens there too. And so the woods are all the guy's property that gave me permission. And there's a few pine trees in there. It looks like it's a good roost spot too. So I have high hopes for tonight, as long as the rain holds out. It's supposed to pour tonight. Hopefully the rain will hold off until I can get a bird down. So that's the plan. We're gonna step in the woods and see what we can find. Alright guys, well, before I could even leave the truck, the rain has started to pick up quite a bit, so we're gonna leave this camera in the truck. So sorry, but I can't get this thing wet. So I got up to the top of this hill and that bird gobbled. He's right where I want him to be. I'm just gonna move around the back side of this hill, going down to where the field is. Looks pretty open. And I'm where you'll see me. So we're gonna slip around a little bit and try to drop down on his level. And it's green enough that it should hide me. bouncing down, baby. Yeah. Unfortunately, shot lower than I thought. Shot out a lot of his beard. Man, I was shaking like a freaking leaf. They were so close. Wisconsin, you were state number 47. Man, what a hunt. Probably shouldn't have done this so close to the highway, but it is what it is. I'll try to talk between the cars real quick. This bird, I'd seen him in a field, and the woods that he was right up against were another chunk of private property. Went around, talked to the landowner. Landowner's like, well, normally I just let people from my family hunt here for turkeys. Don't really let anybody else hunt. I'm like, okay, no problem, man. So I just came here from Delaware just trying to shoot a turkey. And he said, you from Delaware? I'm like, yeah. He goes, and you ought to go out in there and shoot that turkey. So I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. You came all the way out here from Delaware. You should go in there and shoot that turkey. He's like, how long do you need? I said, well, hopefully just this afternoon. And guess what? That's all I needed. Like I said, this bird was originally in this field, so I go in there, get close to the edge, and I didn't take this camera because when I got out of the truck it was starting to rain and I was worried that it was going to get this camera was going to get wet. As it turned out, it didn't rain hardly at all. But anyway, walked in there, birds gobbling. I sit down, call. I mean, just textbook hunt. He comes right up, until the fact that I sat down at a dumb tree, and I knew when I sat down at this tree I shouldn't have sat down at it. There was a log right in front of me. So this leg I had to kink up like this, which didn't give me the normal range of motion that I normally have. Sure enough, this guy pops up right here, and my gun's like this. And if you guys watch our channel, you know I don't have problems taking risky shots or swinging and pulling on a bird, but this time it just didn't feel right, and I trust my gut pretty hard on that one, and this time it just didn't feel right, so I didn't take that shot. And then his buddy popped up his head, and I just didn't feel like it was the right time to pull the trigger, so I didn't. They saw me. They didn't know what I was, but they saw me. They putted. They work off. I weighed him out a little bit. 45 minutes later or so, he gobbles and he's back behind me. He's up on the top of this hill, and I can tell he's going off on the back side of it. So I go around, eventually meet up with him in one of these little clearings here, and he's on the other side of the clearing. They were gobbling pretty good, both of them. So they gobble. I yelp. They gobble back to me. I cut on top of them. And then I'm scrambling for a seat, sit down, and I got these pine trees right in front of me, and I'm like, they're either going to come up high or they're going to go low, and I didn't know which way they were going to come. So after a few minutes, I'm like, they've got to be getting close. So I call and they hammer, and they're just behind these pine trees, and I'm like, oh snap. And they hadn't come either direction, so I wasn't sure which way they were going to come. So I'm kind of pointing up high because that's the direction I thought they were going to come, but I kept looking down low. Sure enough, they came low, and I caught a glimpse of one when he was still behind that pine tree, and that gave me enough time to get circled around or get turned around. And be able to. It gave me enough time to get turned around and facing that direction. When they were coming up, I had this tree limb from another tree right in front of me. I could see them, and they're just right behind that tree limb, and they're at 17 yards is what it ended up being, and the other bird was closer. He was at probably 14 yards, and I had to like duck down behind this tree and squeeze off. When I went up to him, I was like, holy crap, he has got one hell of a beard. And it's because I shot the beard, apparently, and it was starting to pull out. So it looked like it was about a 13 incher there, but it's a good one. Man, oh man. What a ride this has been. It's been some of the most fun I've ever had in my life these last couple years, chasing this slam. I absolutely love this stuff, man.